Alrighty, welcome back, boys and girls. It's your main math man, Mr. Shank, coming to you live from Walker Grant Middle School. And in this video, we're going to be finishing off that drawing box plots examples. So, as always, make sure that you're taking these values and reordering them from least to greatest. So you want to go from least to greatest. So from least to greatest. Alright, so now what I can do is I can reorder these. So I'm going to say, alright, my lowest number is 5, so that means that my min or my lower extreme is going to be 5. Then I can say, well, my largest value is going to be 35, so that's going to be my greatest, and so that's going to be my maximum or my upper extreme. So 35 is going to be my upper extreme. So then I can take these other values and order them from least to greatest. So I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then 30. All right, and so in the center here is kind of our 5-number sum. So again, it's going to be that min, max, that lower extreme, the upper extreme, and then you can also have the quartiles. So that's going to be your median, and then once you split it in half, you have the median of the lower half, which is the lower quartile, or Q1, and then you have the median of the upper half, which is Q3, or your upper quartile. So now what I can do is I'm going to try to find that median. So how many numbers do I have? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So since I have an odd number, I can split it into 2 equal groups. So that means that my median is going to be 20, since it's all by itself. So we're going to say that 20 is going to be my median. You can also call that Q2. So that splits it into the lower half on the left, which our median of the lower half is going to be 10, and the median of the upper half is going to be 30. Our range is again that max minus our min, so it's the max minus the min, which is going to be 35 minus 5, so our range is going to be 30. And then our IQR, or the interquartile range, is our Q3 minus the Q1, which we said is 30 minus 10, which is just 20. Okay, so now that we have our 5 numbers that we need, again, we can have and draw our box plots. So again, like before, I want to say my min, I want to draw a dot on 5, I want to draw a dot on our max, and that kind of shows where our whiskers will go. And then I can say, alright, I need to have a line on my quartiles, so I have a line on my quartiles, so I'm going to say I have a line on 10, I have a vertical line on 20, and I have a vertical line on 30 for my upper quartile. Now what I can do is I can kind of draw my box in like that and just adjust it as needed. So this is again how you draw out your box plots for this setup. Again, you can kind of shift it around, or if you draw a box normally, that also works totally fine. So now I need to draw my whiskers, and I want to make sure that I can say that those values are inside of those boundaries. So again, that's how you would draw the box plot for this set of values. Moving on, same setup, I need to order these values from least to greatest first. And so let's see, they're almost in order from least to greatest already. I just need to move some of these numbers around. So I have 1, 1, 3, 5, 7, Let me shift these around. So let me have 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, and then 20. So make sure those are shifted from least to greatest. So now I can do and find my min max or my lower extreme, upper extreme. So I can say my largest value is going to be 20. My smallest value is going to be 1. And now I can say, all right, well, of those values, what is in the middle? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So since I have 11, that means I'm going to have 5 on each side. So again, I can take and say my Q2, or my median, is going to be, let's see, I have 5 on the left, 8's in the middle, and I have 5 on the right. So my median for this is going to be 8. So now I can say of my values, so let me kind of box this in so that way we can kind of see how it works. Of my lower half, I can look at these 5 values and say, well, what is in the middle? I would say that my lower quartile is going to be 3. And then I can have and say for my upper half, of those 5 values, what is going to be my upper quartile, or the median of the upper half? It's going to be 11. All right, so now I can say, all right, what's my range? Well, I take my min minus my max, and so I have 20 minus 1. So my range for this is going to be 19. And for the interquartile range, again, make sure that you are seeing for the interquartile range, I have 11 minus 3, since I have the Q3 minus the Q1, and so I need to do 11 minus 3, which is just 8. So our interquartile range is going to be 8. So now again, to draw this out, I have my dot on my max, which is 20, my dot on my min, which is going to be 1. And notice, make sure you're always paying attention to that number line, since I don't have a 1 right here, and it's saying that each of these spaces is 2. I can go about right there, about halfway in between, because right here would be about 3, which is actually going to be our lower quartile. So I can put a line right in between 2 and 4. My upper quartile is 11, so I'm going to put it in between 10 and 12. And now my median of the entire set is going to be 8, so I put a line on 8, and then the rest I can fill in. So I'm actually just box in to make it a little bit quicker. Perfect. Draw my lines for my whiskers, and I am good. For the next one, same setup. You want to make sure that you are ordering these from least to greatest first. And so I can say, all right, well, my lowest is going to be 3. And so that's going to be my min. So I can say my min is going to be 3. My largest is going to be 30. So I can say 30 is my largest. So that means that my upper extreme, or my max, is going to be 30. Now I can go in order from least to greatest. So now I have 9, I have 10, I have 13, 17, 18, 20, 25, and 27. All right. So now that I have these values, I can say, all right, what is going to be in the middle, or what is going to be our median? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So since I have 10 values, that means that I'm going to have 5 on each side, but I need to take the middle value. So let's break this apart. So I'm going to have my lower half on the left, and I'm going to have my upper half on the right. And we need to see, well, there's no middle number here, so what do we have to do? Well, we take the mean of those middle two numbers, so 17 and 18, and so my mean is going to be 17.5. So my quartile 2, or my median, is going to be 17.5. So now of my lower half, what is in the middle? We have 10 is in the middle, so that's going to be my Q1. My Q3 is going to be 25, because we're looking at the median of the upper half. And so now I can say, all right, find the range. Our range is going to be 30 minus 3, which is 27. And let's draw that a little bit better. There we go. And our interquartile range, again, Q3 minus Q1, so we have 25 minus 10 is just going to be 15. And so again, we have those 5 numbers. That means that we can draw that box plot. So we're going to say about our lowest number is going to be 3. And so again, you're going to have to kind of eyeball it. It's going to have to be about in between 0 and 5 is going to be about 3. You can shift a little bit to the right to show that's 3. For our largest value, it's on 30, so I go right above 30. I need a vertical line on our Q1, which is 10. I need a vertical line on our Q3, which is 25. And then I need my median of 17.5, which is going to be about there. Again, we're going to have to kind of eyeball it since our number line isn't directly labeled, but that is okay. We can work well under pressure. Again, make sure you draw out those whiskers for yourself, connecting the box to the min and max. For the next one, last 2 remaining, I want to have these values in order from least to greatest. So let's go ahead and order these real quick. So I have 2, I got 4, easy now. I have 6, I have 18, I got 24, 26. Normally I would be crossing these out as I use them, but since I'm eliminating them, that also works. I got 44, I got 68, 86, and 154 to 16. So now that I have my values in order from least to greatest, I can start splitting them apart, so that way I can find my 5 critical numbers to make my box plot. Alright, so we said our min or our lowest number is going to be 2. We said our max is going to be 216, so kind of a big range for this, but that's okay. How many numbers do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so we're going to have an even number, a little bit trickier, but that is okay. We are doing fine. So I'm going to box off my first 6 numbers, and I'm going to box off my second 6 numbers, so that way I can have my lower half and my upper half. So now, well, what is in the middle of 26 and 26? Well, you guessed it, it's still 26. I can also prove that. Let me do just that. I can say the mean of 26 and 26 is still, you guessed it, 26. All right. So now I can look at the lower half, and so since I have 6 numbers, I need to take the mean of those middle 2. So I need to say I need to have the mean of 6 and 18. So I'm going to have my Q1 is going to be 12. So be mindful of this. I'm not saying that 12 is in that data set. I am saying that 12 is the median of the lower half, meaning it is in between 6 and 18. Same kind of setup for the upper half. I take the mean of 68 and 86. So I take mean of 68 and 86. And so my median of the upper half is going to be 77. So just be mindful of those values and those words that you are using. All right. So I need to find the range. Again, the range is the difference of those two numbers. So I take 216 minus 2. So I'm going to have my range as 214. Then I have my interquartile range, the difference of Q3 and Q1. So I have 77 minus, and then 12. So I have 65. Again, be mindful that 12 and 77 they are not part of this data set. However, they are the medians, meaning the middle numbers. And just keep that in mind as you are moving through. All right, so for our min, we have 2. Again, it's going to be pretty close to 0, so each of these spaces are 20, so I have to be pretty close to 0 for that. And then my max is going to be 216, which is going to be all the way over here, so we're going to use that full amount of space. And then I can say my lower quartile is 12, so I'm going to be about halfway to 20. Real short whisker on the left, that's okay. And my upper quartile is going to be 77, so I find something close to 77, which is about 80. I go a little bit to the left of that. And then my median of the entire set is 26. So I can say it's about what's in the middle of 20 and 40, it's about 30, and so I can go a little bit lower than that, and I can now draw my box. Again, it's not going to be perfect, but you want to make sure that you are very close for it. So now I can draw my box, and then I need my whiskers. Even though I have a really short whisker on the left, and I have a really short, long whisker, on the right, it doesn't not matter. The key part to this, make sure that you are seeing each of these sections is 25%. So even though that this is really, really long whisker, it is still 25% of the values. Even though this is smaller than this side, this is still 25%, and this is still 25%. And even that little tiny bit right in there, that is also 25% of the entire set. So just keep that mindful as you are moving forward. And the very, very last one, and we can call it a day. Make sure these values are ordered from least greatest. So my lowest number is going to be 3. I got 4. I got 5, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So now that I have my values in order from least to greatest, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers. So I'm going to have 4 on each side. So now, again, I said my lowest number was 3, so that's my min, or the lower extreme. My max, or my upper extreme, is 13. I can split these into 2 groups. And so I'm going to say, all right, I have 4 numbers on the left, I have 4 numbers on the right, and so that means that 8 is going to be my median, or my Q2. So now I need to find the median of the lower half, so I take the mean of these middle 2 numbers, so I take the mean of 4 and 5, which is 4.5. So my Q1, or my lower quartile, the median of the lower half is 4.5. Then I have to take the median of the upper half, which is going to be the mean of 11 and 12. So what's in the middle of those 2 numbers is going to be 11.5. So see how those work. Again, our range is just the max minus the min, so I have 13 minus 3, so that's going to be 10. So our range for this one is going to be 10. Our interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. So I have 11.5 minus 4.5. So our interquartile range for this is going to be 7. Again, good when you draw it out, you can box it in and have your whiskers set up. So I have 3 as my min, I have my max as 13, I have my Q1 as 4.5, so in the middle of 4 and 6 is 5, and a little bit lower than that is 4.5. In the middle of 10 and 12 is 11, to the right of that is 11.5. And then I have my median of 8. Now that I have my 5 critical values, I can box it in as always, and then I can draw my wonderful and awesome whiskers. And as always, make sure that you're using that Desmos calculator. Be sure to rewind, replay anything you need, and as always, super slam the subscribe button.